So I'll be showing how to play the solos in Holy Wars: The Punishment Due. So the first solo starts off with this, and then this downward motion. Notice he goes down by threes. Although live he doesn't do it cleanly. And during the Euthanasia tour, he was playing it like this. Which sounds sort of similar to Family Tree. That might have been an influence. But anyway, yeah, so you do. So it's an upstroke and then a downstroke for these two notes. Upstroke, downstroke, downstroke. Notice that's just a chromatic thing. And then he goes back to here, and then although live he plays, which adds drum or something, that's why he did it. So again. The first overdrive solo in Holy Wars: The Punishment Due starts off with a G major arpeggio and then turns minor for a while before going to B flat. And then there's a string skip. You don't strike the B string, you go straight to the G here in the high E string. Here, minor. By this time it's already in the key of, in the B flat chord. Oh yeah, here there's another string skip when you move here. And then when you get to B flat, you skip the B string again. So here it is in one continuous motion. So the part here, you know, you sort of have to phrase it in a way that you're able to cram the notes in. You know, I guess it is supposed to sound sort of rushed in a way. And then the next part is, and then notice how this note is prolonged, and then this note is shortened. Notice it goes right away to, and it's always struck me, well, for a long time it struck me as this one's building the tension, this is the one that's releasing it. Tension, release. You know, that's one of the first things that, you know, that really blew my mind about the way Marty plays. It's just not something emphasized by other players, you know, who impressed by speed or whatever. You know, for Marty, it's always been, you know, choice of notes, phrasing, and just, you know, the manner in which he executes. So after that part, we go to this high, and then this part, it's a D minor arpeggio. Sorry, a G minor arpeggio. So you skip the B string again to play this. Sorry. Live, Marty, I guess because of the, you know, because he has to extend his fingers, he sometimes settles for a C sharp. Which is fine, you know. But if you're gonna play it properly, you'd play D instead of C sharp. And then the thing ends with an octave thing. You start off with so, you know, just stick to the G blues scale. It doesn't really matter what notes you play. Just start off with. So that's the way I do it personally. Something like that. Okay, now the second overdrive solo of the Punishment Do, which is actually my favorite among the Holy War solos, primarily because it's so melodic. It's, you know, it's not really not that flashy really, but, you know, the choice of notes is so great, and the way he plays it is so good also. So it starts off with. Notice how he slides this thing instead of. He could have played the B flat note here, you know, it's much easier. Instead, he slides it, you know, and, you know, that actually makes it sound really better, actually. And then when you hit this B flat note, you play with so much vibrato that it's almost like a C note, you know, it's almost like you're playing this note. And then here, it's up to you to devise your own fingering, but you play these notes. Or, well, the way Marty plays it is, in the studio version, but when he's played it live, he plays it. See the difference? Versus. That's the way he does it live. Personally, I've gotten so used to playing it this way. Okay, and then the next part is he actually plays the next part sort of like this. But the way I play it, which sort of sounds, which to me sort of sounds more Marty-ish actually. I play it here. Notice that? You know, it gives it the a rubato feel. And then it ends with. And then makes way for Dave's crappy solo. Well, I'm gonna show how Dave's solo is done, but you know, it's not something that requires much precision anyway. So the way Dave would do it is sort of like this. Just a lot of rapid, sloppy picking, descending in the E blues scale. But the way I do it would be more reminiscent of Marty, in that there's some economy picking actually. And this one's more dated. Yeah. What's important is when you're doing that, that nonsense fast picking up the blues scale, that you end up playing this. So that's the 12th, 15th, and 17th fret for both B and E strings. So B, D, E, E, G, A. And that one, you could actually just hammer it on. And then you have to end up with so Dave would play it, just constant picking. Well, I'd follow Marty's style more, even though it's a Dave solo. It starts off with an upstroke, and then a downstroke for this. So whenever I strike the B, whenever I strike the B string, it's with an upstroke. Well, except for this time, when I'm playing along with the G string. And then you play it. And then it ends with something like that. But me, I prefer playing it with something like this. Although it's still difficult for me. It's sort of kind of too fast for me. But I try to do it when I'm feeling like it. And then the solo ends with this upward pattern. So it's a 17th, 15th, and 12th frets of the B string. That's just, you just pull that off. And then hit with an upstroke the G string. notice you're playing each position 4 times, but in the second half, oh well, not the second half, but the second part of it, you just play 2 repetitions for each position. Before ending with a high E note. And so those are the Holy War solos.